Hey y'all, let me show you what we got going on now. The next step for the floor. I did primer the floor, painted that yesterday. So the next step, I'll actually be doing tomorrow. But let me show you what we got here. We have epoxy from Countertop Epoxy. We're using this Super Trax Outdoor Flex. This is part B. There's one each, 1 gallon a piece. And then this was a 5-gallon bucket, but they put 2 gallons of part A. And it shows that it is a 1-to-1 mixture. So part A, there's 2 gallons in there. So I use this 5-quart bucket to fill it up to 128 ounces, which equals 4 quarts, which equals 1 gallon. Then I poured that into a 5-gallon bucket. And that's this. So this is simply just part A and a 5-gallon bucket. Also, same thing in here. I did the same thing twice. 1 gallon of the 2 in this bucket, and then the other gallon of the other part 2, 2 gallons into this bucket. Now, as soon as I mix in part B into here, this thing's going to start activating and curing. We're not going to do that till later. But according to the videos and the instructions, you could take your base coat, which I have here, and pour it into part A and mix it up and let it sit. So that's what I'm going to do now, is I'm going to take this base coat color, put it in part A, and mix it up. I'm going to do it twice. Once there and once there. And I have a white lid on one bucket and an orange lid on the other. It doesn't really matter. The same thing is going into both. But this will be my first bucket. I'm going to pour tomorrow for a silk coat on top of this primer coat here. I'm going to mix it in with a little bit of this Easy Sand 20-minute joint compound. Half a bag will go into this bucket and mix, and that's going to be considered the slurry mixture. It's going to volumize the epoxy. It's going to lay on a little thick, and then you can pour it in here, lay it out across the entire floor, and it helps fill in the little crevices and stuff like this. So without further ado, let's mix some base color into part A for tonight. Alright, I got my base coat color. It's white because we're going to be doing a white marble floor. So I'm just going to open the lid here, take it off, pull off the little cover. There's your white. Let me set this down over here. And then I like this. Is kind of cool the way you pour it in while mixing. So I got my drill. I'm going low. I'm going to start mixing a little. And then I'm just going to pour this in slowly and watch it mix up. I like this part, just seeing the color mix in with the clear. And then tomorrow we'll be doing pretty much the same thing, but part B is also clear. And we'll mix the clear with the color instead of color with the clear. But we'll do that tomorrow. I need to get a paint stick to get more of the color out of this little bucket here. I think this is about 25 ounces. Let me see what the other package over here says, because it tells me one's in a package and one's in a, it's 12 ounces for this one. See right there, 12 ounces. They're the same. Just one came in a little bucket and one came in a baggie. But let me go grab a paint stick real quick so I can clear this little container out. Alright, let me get this out of here. It's kind of thick and sludgy. Yeah, it's a lot more color that I could have not had in here. Believe it or not, the walls of this, or the color of this container was actually clear, but this white is so bright and vibrant, it makes it look like the container itself is white when it's not. Look here. See, I'm making some marks in the center of the cup. It's clear. This stuff's pretty thick though. Get it all poured out here. That seems like it's good enough. Yeah, it's pretty much empty now. Stick that in. And then I will continue mixing this base coat into part A. Trying to get it where y'all can see. Hard doing this all by yourself, like working the part, the mixing or whatever it is, and record your own video. I wish I had like a cameraman. I like that part. Kind of just seeing what goes around the edges, a little splatter. Looks pretty cool. Anyway, I am going to be done with this one for right now. And I'm going to do the same thing with the other bucket. You're not really missing out on anything. It's exactly the same as this one. So, thanks for tuning in. We'll see you on the next part. Y'all have a good night.